Good late morning here, or good afternoon, or good evening, or good night, or somewhere. Depends on where the hell you are. Anyways, doing today's video early, just because I feel like it. Maybe it's because it's almost Easter. I don't know. Anyways, 1948 baseball season, and it was a good year for somebody. Almost a good year for somebody else. A good year for a few players, perhaps. Anyways, February 27th, Herb Pennock and Pi Traynor are elected in the Baseball Hall of Fame. April 18th, 62,369 people watched Brooklyn beat New York, the Yankees 5-3 in the largest crowd at Yankee Stadium for an exhibition game. Interesting. April 21st, Brooklyn's Leo DeRocher returns from a one-year suspension and uses his Major League Baseball record 24 players in a 9-5 loss to the Giants. Interesting. April 23rd, Ted Kluszewski hits his first career home run in his distinguished career. June 13th, 25th anniversary celebrations for a Yankee Stadium happen before their game, and Babe Ruth makes his final ever appearance during. He appeared in his old 1920s uniform and wore his 1920s hat. Apparently David Wells bought that on an auction and actually wore it. Anyways, Babe Ruth's number 3 was retired. And for the photographers, he takes one last swing at the plate. It was just for show. We'll get to that in a minute. Anyways, he'd never be seen again at Yankee Stadium, and there's a reason why. Because on August 16th, he dies from throat cancer. Dies at 53 years old, and he they had him in an open casket in the rotunda at Yankee Stadium, and 77,000 people lined up and observed him and to pay tribute to him. Anyways, July 7th, Cleveland signs Leroy Satchel Paige, the great Negro League pitcher of the day. And honestly, I think it's a shame he didn't start in the majors sooner. To face greats like Babe Ruth and Lou Gehrig and Ted Williams. He ended up dead facing Ted Williams at some point. Ted Williams when he got elected in the Hall of Fame in '66. In his speech, he wanted to see great Negro players such as Satchel Paige elected in the Hall of Fame, and Satchel Paige does get elected in 1971. So there you go. Anyways, July 13th at Sportsman's Park. Browns are the hosts of this All-Star game. And the American League wins 5-2 over the National League. August 12th, in the second game of a doubleheader, Cleveland beats St. Louis 26-3, records 29 hits, and sets a record with 14 different players getting a hit. Ooh. Anyways, okay, just mentioned Babe Ruth's death. Anyways, October 4th, in a one-game playoff for the American League pennant, Cleveland beats Boston 8-3. Which is a darn shame, and there wasn't a crosstown World Series for Boston, and you'll see why in a minute here. Season stats. Ted Williams of Boston. They were doing the American League first. Ted Williams of Boston leads the American League with a .369 average. Joe DiMaggio of the Yankees led the American League with 39 home runs, and he led the majors with 155 runs batted in. Hal Newhouser of Detroit, 21 wins, leading the American League. Gene Bearden of Cleveland, 2.43 ERA, led the American League. And Bob Feller, also of Cleveland, 164 strikeouts, leading the majors. National League, Stan Musial of St. Louis led the majors with a .376 average. Ralph Kiner of Pittsburgh and Johnny Mize of New York Giants, just like last season, led the majors in home runs, this time with 40. Stan Musial led the National League in runs batted in with 131. Johnny Sain of the Boston Braves leads the majors with 24 wins. And Harry Brechin, Brecchen, is it Brechin or Brechin? Anyways, led the majors with a 2.24 ERA and led the National League in strikeouts with 149, pitching for the St. Louis Cardinals. Season standings. As I mentioned, Cleveland beat Boston in a one-game playoff. Cleveland ended up finishing with a 97-58 record, and Boston finished with 96-59. So yeah, they were both at 96-58. So hence the one-game playoff for the. Anyways, you get the point. Yankees third, 94-60, 2.5 games back. Philadelphia Athletics 84-70, 12.5 back. Detroit 78-76, 18.5 back. St. Louis Browns 59-94, 37 back. Washington at 56-97, 40 back. And the Chicago White Sox 51-101, 44.5 back. Terrible. Anyways, National League, the Boston Braves. And this is something I very rarely have said when I started this series. The Boston Braves finished first in the National League. Just wait till the 1990s when they're in Atlanta. They'll be saying them a little more often. Finishing first. But this is 1948. So Boston finished first with the 91-62 record. Cardinals ended up finishing second, 85-69, 6.5 back. Brooklyn goes 84-70, 77.5 back. 84-70, 7.5 back. There we go. Pittsburgh, 83-71, 8.5 back. New York Giants go 78-76, 13.5 back. Philadelphia Phillies, 66-88, 25.5 back. Cincinnati goes 64-89, 27 back. And the Cubs go 64-90, 27.5 back. And we got ourselves a Cleveland Indians versus Boston Braves matchup. This is why there's Boston fans that were hoping for a all Boston World Series, and seeing as though the Red Sox lost the one-game playoff, Cleveland kind of ruined it. But that ends up a good result for Cleveland. Game 1, October 6th in Boston. Braves 1, Cleveland nothing. Game 2 on October 7th in Boston. Cleveland 4, Boston 1. Now the series is tied at 1. Game 3, October 8th in Cleveland. Cleveland 2, Boston nothing. Game 4, October 9th in Cleveland. Cleveland 2, Boston 1. Now they're up 3-1. Do they win it here? Game 5, October 10th. Boston 11, Cleveland 5 in Cleveland. So Cleveland loses the last one. Anyways, 3 games to 2-series lead. Back to Boston for Game 6 on October 11th, and Cleveland wins 4-3, winning their second World Series. Second ever World Series. Cleveland's home game was at Cleveland Stadium, which I think is municipal. Anyway, I'm not sure. Boston's home games were at Braves Field, and this featured teams that hadn't lost a World Series. Cleveland's only other World Series appearance was 1920, and they won that. And Boston's only other World Series was in 1914, and they won that over Philadelphia Athletics. So interesting stat there. Anyways, tomorrow, 1949. What happens tomorrow? Does Cleveland make it 2 in a row? Do the Boston Braves make it again? Or is it going to be somebody else tomorrow? Find out tomorrow. Stay tuned.